My name is Diane Walters, and I am passionate about learning and teaching into the future. You know, at this point in juncture, I think life will be different, and we have to ask ourselves, what are we schooling for? Are we actually educating for a job in the future, when the future is changing so rapidly before us? As what happened with the pandemic, we could completely reinvent how we're teaching, what we're learning, how we look at things. Really what we have to look at is to school ourselves into an attention. School systems, it's just being practiced there. Well, in Waldorf education, teaching out of the wholeness is really looking from the whole to the parts, rather than from the parts to the whole. What we're really looking at is how do we work with the self and the world. And I think when we look at schooling and education, we really are looking at how do we bring one's focus out of our own curiosities and our interests into that world, and how do we work with that world out of the periphery into ourselves. And it's a breathing process. It's not a fixed idea of a subject and a centered thing where these are the learning outcomes that we need to teach, but it's inclusive of a greater circle of world wisdom. The curriculum seal is really informed by everything teachers are doing everywhere, but it's put together into the wheel of life, wisdoms. So you take a subject in the middle, and in the 7 rays outside of that subject, into the periphery, into the world, we're looking at perhaps the artistic learning modality, interconnected with the language, movement, mathematics, science, history and culture, and then of course the social, which is relationships and what was happening at that time. Often in Waldorf schools, this is already done, but it might not be done quite this way. I see this as working well at home because it allows for human individuality to come to play, human circumstance with where that child might be living and what's going on for them. They all come together in collaboration to say, this is what I did around this subject, rather than have them all do one thing. They're all spinning the wheel in a way and collaborating together to create a larger picture and a much more diversified picture based on human curiosity and interest. I think that this kind of participation-based, more than presentation-based, learning modality can offer a new way of seeing and looking at what school means, what this pause is all about, and how we can reimagine the nature of engagement. The students really need to find their own self-directed will. To actually bring enthusiasm into a subject is to be curious. Whether you're a parent or a teacher, I can help you find the inner strength and resilience needed to take your children into the future.